Welcome to Style Meets Sustainability, the podcast where fashion, ethics, and conscious living come together. I am Arpita, and today's episode is one of the innovation, circular design, and the power of turning waste into wonder. Joining me is Mr. Sandesh Saxena, General Manager at Gencrest. This pioneer company is making serious waves in the world of sustainable textiles, developing high performance fibers from plant based agri waste like banana stems, hemp, and flax. Their flagship fiber Vybrana is not only a circular innovation, it's helping farmers, protecting the planet, and offering an eco alternative to the textile industry at large. We are going to talk about how this fiber is made, what makes it special, how global clients are responding, and what this all means for the future of fashion. Mr. Sandesh, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for the invitation, Arvita. It'll be a good session, I believe. We can
Yes, of
start the
course.
introduction. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Let's start with the big picture. Can you give us a little backstory on Gencrest? What was the original vision, and how did you land on using agri waste like banana stems to create fiber?
Gencrest started as an R&D company about 7, 8 years back. They were working on advanced enzymes for various applications, including textiles. So, as we know, there is a lot of pollution and the chemical industry used in the textile industry. So, the idea was to replace quite a few chemical intensive processes by using enzymes. During the journey, they studied various options, including uh, washing soda replacements and all that. And then they came across the story of banana fiber, which was gaining traction. And our chairman comes from the central Maharashtra belt, which is a banana growing region. And he had witnessed a lot of agri waste being disposed of without any proper format, and the farmers having a lot of huge problems because Jalgaon, Raver, Bhusawal, this happens to be one of the biggest cultivation areas of banana in India. So we thought of why not trying to put this agri waste to good use. Banana fiber per se has been in the domain on a handloom sector for ages, but nobody had commercially exploited this sector. So the R&D got into work to see how they can make this fiber more supple, spinnable on a mass scale. And there was an ample availability of raw material with India being one of the largest banana growing countries. And we were looking at offering sustainable solutions in all our projects. So that is how we came across this banana fiber, where we thought of putting agri waste to a solution where farmers would gain, they would gain on terms of value, and also they would be relieved of the pain which they have come across in disposing the stems post harvest. And also we offer a sustainable fiber alternate to the raw materials in the industry, which is more skewed towards cotton and polyester, and rather these days more towards synthetic fibers. So that was the whole idea, and the project started as an R&D center, followed by a pilot plant which we started almost 4 years back. And since then, this journey has continued, and we have added other fibers also.
And that's interesting. It's always inspiring when sustainability meets scalability. And banana fiber, it's such a unique innovation. And your Vybrana, am I saying correctly? Vybrana?
Yeah, so we call it Vybrana. It's a
Okay.
vibrant fiber from banana, so it's Vybrana.
Oh, okay. So, Vybrana is such a strong example of circular thinking. Can you walk us through what makes this fiber and your production process so special and zero waste?
Our focus has been on offering sustainable solutions, as I mentioned, in all our ventures that we do at Santa Group and Gencrest. So when we picked up banana as one of the core products, we understood that fiber would be a very small portion of the entire extraction that we would do from the core of the stems post harvest. So idea was to utilize the complete waste. We cannot have a fiber in a business where 90% of it is being released into back in as waste into the atmosphere. So the R&D took up the project where we were focusing on utilizing the entire pseudo stem, as we call it, post harvest stems. And today we have processes where we are having multiple green products, all unique products from this banana stem. So fiber, which was the core product we started with, and today the bulk of the stem is converted to organic liquid fertilizers, organic manure, and granules, various products, and we also in future on expansion are looking at bio CNG. So this is how we admit. And when we talk about Vybrana, what's so special? So when we talk about natural fibers, there is a lot of land water resource which is dedicated to cultivation. The beauty of Vybrana is this is fiber is upscaled from the agri residue post harvest. So you are not utilizing any land resource or water resource uh, to grow or cultivate the fiber. So it's a the fiber which comes at a zero carbon footprint. The carbon footprint of this fiber starts post harvest because till date that date the entire ecosystem has been dedicated for fruit cultivation, which is going to feed the mankind. And banana is one of the cheapest and most nutritious food, and that is why it's been cultivated across India in huge numbers. So that was it. And again, for human skin, cellulose fibers like cotton or linen are supposed to be best as they are hygroscopic. And banana fiber inherently has some properties like anti-UV, antimicrobial properties. So it's a feature-rich product, and that is why it's unique in its way.
And I love that it doesn't stop at the fiber. You are creating multiple green products from a single stem. From your perspective, how has the global fashion industry responded to Vybrana and your other sustainable fibers? Are international clients showing excitement and readiness to adopt these materials at scale?
International brand and retailers have been always be looking at alternate sustainable alternates on the raw material side. For them, this is a great story, and they have been very anxious to adopt them in their goals. There are certain factors like traceability and how do you identify the fiber in the fiber blend in the fabric, which has been slowing down the adoption to a certain extent. But everybody is very excited. We first presented this fiber at Cellulosic Fiber Conference 3 years back at Germany, and Vybrana won the bronze award. Subsequently, last year we were part of the Fashion for Good consortium, where leading brands have been engaged in adopting sustainable raw materials and sustainable practices. So, on the whole, yeah, the industry is quite excited. Our value chain partners are excited, but commercialization is a bit slow. But that challenges happen whenever new fibers are introduced.
First of all, congratulations on winning that bronze award. The Fashion for Good accelerator must have opened up some amazing doors. You have already worked with ovens, knits, denim, and even upholstery. Are you planning to expand further into garment manufacturing or direct brand collaboration?
We plan to remain only in the fiber sector, but yeah, with value chain partners in the initial times, we have expanded our portfolio up to offering the yarns. And brand collaboration is the key, and that is what we have been working on for almost now 2.5 years. It's been under discussion at various stages with various other people. And as I mentioned, everybody is excited to adopt it. It's taking slow time, but yeah, we are definitely there. We are expecting one of our first commercial launches in coming months, and slowly we're building upon that. We have been focusing on denims, which has been a major boost in all the areas where we have done the trials. The acceptance has come in, and the fabrics have come in beautiful. Wovens and shirtings is what we are now looking at. Knits, there is quite some time. We are not looking at expanding into knits immediately. And apart from apparels and upholstery, we are also now getting into non-wovens. So there are some advanced trials which are being conducted, and we are talking about some commercial businesses in on technical textiles.
That actually sounds interesting. If it is all right, can you name some products which you are expanding into?
Technical textiles, banana fiber has been giving good results on acoustics as well as on can say strength value. So we are looking at exploring composites. We have done some limited trials with the Center of Excellence, and also certain research institutes have done trials on mulching fabrics and various applications. So be it needle patch, thermal bonded, these are all price sensitive segments, but there are certain areas where sustainable components are required and being promoted. So we are in discussion and exploring that avenues, be it on all sorts of technical textile areas.
It would be amazing to see fibers becoming a staple in slow fashion collections. Let's talk sustainability goals. You have moved away from coal fired boilers and embraced renewable energy. How central is clean energy to your operation? And do you think it's achievable for more textile companies?
It's definitely achievable, and there are most of the big companies today are working on that. As I mentioned to you, we have moved away from steam boilers to biofide boilers. In fact, we are on the brink of moving from grid supplied power to renewable power. We are in the process of installation of a solar rooftop power plant at our location. So our focus has been to adopt all green practices and be can be a carbon neutral company, and more so since we are talking about sustainable products in our complete range, be it bio or agri range or fiber range. So we are committed to walk that extra step and take all steps in the right direction to be a fully sustainable organization and offer products which have low carbon footprints.
It's encouraging to hear real shifts happening at the production level because that's where the impact begins. From a user's point of view, what makes Vybrana stand out? Can you break down some of the key performance properties like dye uptake, strength, or even antibacterial benefits for someone unfamiliar with technical fabrics?
Vybrana fiber, when we talk about, is has certain characteristics. It's a bit coarse than the regular cellulose fibers, and the final fabric appearance or feel would be more towards the linen. It's not a clean, supple look kind of cotton feel that you usually get. But all the I was saying that it's a hygroscopic fiber, so where the water retention capacity and water regain capacity is much more higher than cotton. It's around 14%. So this gives you a summer cool fabric kind of feel when you wear it off. Also, the dye uptake is much stronger. So we have in fact done a comparative analysis and trials of using cotton, flax, and Vybrana in the same dye bar, and the color pickup and the dye fastness is much better in case of Vybrana. When we talk about specialty properties, I've already mentioned this fiber is anti-UV, and we have also tested its microbial properties, antimicrobial, antifungal properties, which have come out quite positive. We don't need to give any specific finishes for the fabric. This is an inherent property of the fiber which comes with it. Wet strength of the fiber is quite good. In certain processing, we are able to even achieve some sort of luster closer to what have possibilities of going blending this fiber with an alternate a basket of fibers, be it cotton, lyocell, flax, and tri-blends. And we have also done stretch yarns out of this for stretch denims. So the fiber is flexible and it's compatible for on normal spinning systems, and there is no need for any modification on the processes. It's all available and can be processed on the regular spinning textiles spinning and weaving as well as in processing cycles. So the mills or the manufacturers really don't need to modify or invest in technology upgradation. With some minor adjustments, they will be able to process the fiber. So that is why the adoption becomes much more easier for the entire life cycle and the entire value chain partners.
That's really amazing. So it's not just sustainable, it's super functional too. One thing I always think about is accessibility. Are your fibers available to small brands or independent designers yet? What's your vision when it comes to making these eco materials more available to a wider audience?
Arpita, we have not restricted MOQs on our supply. So this fiber and the benefits of these fibers and trials for these fibers is available for even few kgs whoever want to try it out. So we understand that in the initial phase, unless you do the trials till the final garment stages, people will not be able to be excited and able to invest. That is why, as I mentioned to you, we have ventured into keeping yarn stocks ready with us to facilitate small trials. Small designers who are welcome to connect with us. We always keep some sort of yarn stock ready with them. So, which is yarn is the basic building block for any kind of fabric or apparel development. So we are hand holding and arranging that. And for bulk orders, we are always have our spinning partners available and weaving partners available, which can be nominated and which can be connected with to take this on commercial scale. Be it small, big, we welcome everybody. And as I mentioned to you, not only in banana but other fibers also that we are doing, we have never restricted ourselves on MOQs, and we are very keen to participate wherever and whoever wants to take the development forwards on the sustainable garments areas or the even on upholstery or even as I said, even on technical textiles.
Because sustainable fashion can't be exclusive, it needs to be scalable and reachable. Let's talk impact beyond the fabric. How has this work affected the farming communities you collaborate with, especially since banana stem disposal is both an environmental and financial burden?
Yeah, as you mentioned rightly, environmental concern is huge because post harvest, unlike other agri residue, banana stems are not even used as cattle feed because the stem contains almost 80% water. So there is no practical use. The leaves, okay, definitely go in for traditional usage in the kitchens and also for the restaurant industry. But the stems were practically not of any use, and they would be left to dry and would degrade and finally burnt off, which was a huge concern. And also, it was a huge problem for the farmers to dispose of because it's a cyclic crop, and one portion of their land would always be occupied with the waste of whatever post harvest stems they had, and they hardly had anything to do. They would leave it across their farms, and that portion of the land will start degrading. So, by picking up these stems from these farmers, we are not only helping them, we are buying these stems from them. So we are practically helping the farmers by picking up these stems. We are compensating them for that and taking care of their waste and putting this waste to upscaling it to a fiber, uh, which is really speaks about the when we call it Vybrana super fiber. And that is the reason why I have we named Vybrana as a super fiber, because the gross impact is not only on the environment but also on ethically. If you look at it, the farmer income increases by about 15 to 20%, because they would rather typically spend about 20 to 25,000 per hectare each year only on disposal, which today is being taken care by us. So there's a gross impact on their incomes, there's a gross impact on the climate, and we have a sustainable new fiber added to the raw material basket.
I imagine there's a deep sense of purpose tied to solving this kind of systematic problem. You have achieved certifications like Ocotex and are working towards European flax certification. How important are these certifications when building trust with global partners or retailers?
So when we talk about being a chemical neutral fiber, as I mentioned to you, we have three patents filed for converting this banana fiber, raw fiber, into spin finish fiber. And we are use the uniqueness of these patents are the entire process is chemical neutral. So we are using an enzyme cocktail to process these fibers for deliquidification and making them spinnable. I would not say chemical free because we still use some softeners and we still have some neutralizations and also do some bleaching. But apart from that, this is neither regenerated. The fiber remains in the natural form, and the proof of that has to be with some sort of certification. And when we talk about Ocotex, it certifies that the fiber final does not have any harmful or banned content while processing. That's been tested out there. And for your information, we have Ocotex Class A certification, which is suitable even for baby products, which is the highest grade of classification, because baby skin reacts immediately to any sort of chemicals or chemicals present in the fiber. That certification qualifies us for being used without any hurdles across the globe, especially in Europe. Also, we have gone in for region agri certification, which not only tracks the traceability of the fiber origin from farm to the final consumer, but it also talks about soil health and how our regenerative farming practices being inculcated from the farm level itself, from the cultivation stage to the final fiber stage. That again is unique because banana fiber and Vybrana is the only non-cotton fiber which has been region agri certified till date. With this traceability established, the brands and value chain partners are also sure about what they are buying, and today traceability is one of the important key factors in any brand adoption cycle, and we have broken that code. And that's what is available when we talk about Vybrana.
And of course, for conscious consumers, these stamps make a big difference too. What's your hope for the future of sustainable fashion? If you could share one message with upcoming designers, consumers, or industry leaders, what would it be?
There's a lot of work already being done on this factor, and yeah, I think post COVID, there has been demand from the customer side, which is now forcing, or in fact, driving the attention of designers as well as brands, because it was once in a lifetime thing, which everybody now realized that we really need to think about sustainable practices, raw materials, food, and everything on the planet. And yeah, last 4 years there's been a lot of work being done on it. There's some greenwashing also being done, but I think people are calling that out, and that greenwashing has been hurting the sustainable apparel, sustainable fiber, and sustainable textile segment. But I think in last 12 months, 15 months, I've seen there is a lot of unnecessary greenwashing being identified and being put in place. So that's a good sign for us, because otherwise the investors and professionals who are working on this field were being left out just because of some unnecessary claims and of green products. Yeah, so we are on right track, and I believe the post-consumer waste traction which has come in, which India was always there, but now it is on a global platform, is something good for the future.
That's actually very interesting, and it has to be done that way. And how do you communicate your sustainability values to end consumers who might not understand the technical side?
That's the story. The storytelling has to be done by brands. So we are at the raw material stage, and we are conveying and participating and educating the value chain partners as well as the brand and retailers, and the final story would come from them. So that is why we are waiting for the commercial launch. But yeah, we are supporting with them with all the data, with all the certifications, so that their storytelling is not only storytelling but substantiated with all hardcore data and hardcore deliverables. As I said, consumers are more ready in last 4 years post COVID to adopt these kind of products. There is a lot of buzz. Earlier, the end consumer was not very considerate. He would rather look at the feel or good and the shine of the fabric and buy it. Today, the youngsters, they get into details of what they are consuming, and that's what is forcing everybody to sit up and look and take caution and to take note of that. So we are not really in touch directly communicating with the end consumer, but yeah, the storytelling would be done by the brands, and agencies like Fashion for Goods are already doing that.
I totally agree with you. And what's next for Gencrest in terms of fiber innovation or certifications? You have already mentioned some, but if you have anything more about it, please let me know.
So we are expanding our product base, product basket. We plan to remain in this alternative cellulose business, which is a good area in which we have our expertise. So as I mentioned, we from banana we have already moved to commercial businesses in hemp, We are doing fibers in nettle. Uh, Last year, we took a step to build volumes. We got into flax, European and Egyptian flax business. Then we did some trials on fibers like Remy at our R&D and pilot scale. We have done some sisal pineapple, and we are also collaborating with other people who are in these ventures in these areas. Since we have a plant, we have a facility, and we have a team which can work and which is ready to experiment. We also offer a lot of facilities to our compatriots who are in the field. Like we were collaborating with somebody who is doing pineapple fiber. Similarly, somebody who was doing sisal fiber, they wanted some cottonization to be done, so we have built it out. And we plan to look at this category and build on this category in coming years.
As you were mentioning about C-cell, I had a recent conversation with another technical textile person who was talking about C-cell. I wanted to know more about how you get this C-cell fabric, like the core material. How do you get those?
Yeah, that is what is the core, and that is why we slowed down, because here, whatever fiber we do, we want to ensure that we have a stable supply, raw material supply source. So banana is all captive in house. uh, for hemp, we have already a list of suppliers or raw material suppliers identified, good sources from which we are doing this fiber. Similarly, for nettle also, we have identified the raw material sources. Pineapple, we don't have a supply source, but it was one of the companies which was doing it. We have helped them. Cecil, we did a very small trial and it's at lab stage. So we really do not have currently a regular commercial supply source for that, and that is why we are going slow. And also, currently our efforts are more dedicated to get banana the commercialization at platform. Slowly, whatever fibers we are experimenting with, we only take it forward to the next stage only when we have the complete supply chain on the raw material side available. For this reason, in pineapple, we have been going slow because the supply chain is in just scattered, it's too low. So, yeah, Cecil, we did an experiment with about a few hundred kgs, whereas one of our partners, he had some raw material sourced available for us, and we jointly processed and we did that fiber for him.
Okay, that's a really good way to go when you have a full supply chain, everything ready. Then going forward is a very good way to go. And how do you envision the future of sustainable fibers in the mainstream textile industry?
Sustainable fiber future in mainstream textiles, I believe, is still about, we are of some few years away, because the production facilities are not geared up to meet the processing of these fibers as yet. They are still experimenting, and they are still probably stuck with the lot sizes, commercial costs, and all that. There are certain big companies who have been taking lead. Till few days back, when we talk about hemp, everything was being imported from China. But now Indian mills have started competing. So it's a matter of time when the people move into that. This will always be a small section. We are not experimenting or competing with any other fiber basket, but we are complementing them, and that's the beauty of the game. So, the future for these fibers is exciting, and we hope that in coming couple of years, they will reach the commercial shelves, and where the prices will be more viable, the scope will be much bigger. It's not only being restricted to a niche few brands, but it will be on the shelf or available to a common consumer.
Yeah, when it comes to sustainability segment in the fashion industry, this is a good news. What advice would you give to young entrepreneurs and innovators entering the sustainable textile space?
Oh, I see a lot of young innovators. I can name a few also, like Bohiko guys, who have been doing good, very good on hemp, and they have taken up the initiative and they have built up the entire. In fact, they have shaken up the industry, you can say. There are a lot of youngsters whom I interact who are just starting their careers, are getting into various stages, right? Be it designing, be it product development, and yeah, they we need all their energies and their youth to get this thing going, because at the end of the day, bread and butter seems to be skewed towards the synthetic fiber industry, but then the change has to be brought in, and the current generation, with all the freshness and the youth and the fresh ideas that come in, it's a good venture that the people are getting into. youngsters are taking a lead. I see most of them involved in these spaces are in their early 30s. And that's good news for the industry and good news for the sustainable apparel industry.
I totally agree with you. That's really a good news. Now let's do a fun segment called Snappy Seconds. Quick questions, quick answers. Are you ready? I'll just
Yeah,
keep going with the questions.
yeah.
Okay. Banana fiber or hemp? What's your go-to?
Banana fiber.
Okay. Your favorite city to visit for work?
For work, Bombay, if I'm in India, abroad, probably Portugal. That's
Okay.
where maximum of the garmenting and everything on innovation is happening.
Okay. That's amazing. A designer or a brand you'd love to collaborate with?
All of them. Why one of them?
Okay, that's great. What's one textile innovation that blew your mind recently?
Yeah, I was following up with one of our compatriots, Birla Nanocellulose. It's still at the pilot state, but it's very exciting.
A word that describes your work ethic.
Committed.
Favorite sustainable clothing item in your own wardrobe.
Once I started doing hemp, I think my changed my wardrobe towards hemp, but availability is limited, so I've changed 50% of my wardrobe to hemp and flax.
Okay, that's really nice. What's the most underrated sustainable fiber in your opinion?
I would say banana today.
Okay.
Full potential is still to be achieved.
What gives you hope for the planet?
The current generation, which has been engaging with all these changes and has been following it passionately, gives me the hope.
That's where we end our conversation today. Thank you so much, Mr. Sandesh, for deeply informative conversation.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's incredible to see how science, tradition, and sustainability can come together in such a powerful way. You are not just innovating, you are helping shift how the world thinks about fiber, waste, and fashion. To everyone listening, remember every fiber has a story and every choice has power. Thank you for tuning into Style Meets Sustainability. See you next time.